guys, welcome back to another video. So today I am obviously going to sit here and just talk about a few things. One, where I've been. Two, Technoblad stuff and what I'm going to if I'm going to continue with Dream SMP. And three, just some general things that I just want to bring up. Number one, where I've been. I do this a lot where I take long breaks and then I forget and then I just end up being like, oh, I'll come back at some point. It's generally a month, maybe 2 months. So that's where I've been. I've just been taking a break and taking a leave, but I come back every time. You guys know this. I come back with content at some point. I'll leave Technoblad's death for the end. Actually, I should probably... Okay, I'll bring it up. Okay. Technoblad's death. That has hit a lot of people really hard. It hasn't hit me as hard as, say, other people. However, I respect the people that it's hit really hard. A lot of people lost family members relating to cancers and, all that. My great-grandfather, though he did not die of cancer, he died of a heart attack a long time ago. I didn't really meet him. I didn't remember anything about him. But it's nice to remember him at some point and all that. And I would like to say this for those who are kind of like, oh, it's Technoblad's death or whatever. It hurts a lot of people. I've seen it on, it hurts like Wilbur, it hurts like Phil, it hurts Tommy, it hurts everyone in the Dream SMP community. The Techno was like an all-time favorite. It even hurts like Mojang and all. He was so influential and so smart and such a kind man. And sure, he had his like, a lot of people had like his speculations about him or like all this and we all thought he was going to not make it, but we all thought he was going to make it, not make it, but we all knew that he might not survive. But it still impacts and it still hurts because believe it or not, he helped a lot of people. And I'm not gonna cry here because I have makeup and I don't want you guys to see me crying, but it hurts. And honestly, I can honestly say that it's gonna hurt. And a lot of people, it's gonna take them months, years even to move past this. There are times where people have taken years to move on, and that's the honest truth. Is that not everyone's going to heal overnight. No one heals overnight from a mourning. My best friend Moon was a huge Technoblade fan. You've heard her voice on the channel. Yaoi Moon, the Queen Wolf, huge Technoblade fan. I haven't talked to her in a bit, but you've heard of her. You've heard her around. She's a voice actor. She was also my co-partner for a lot of collaborations and role plays and all this cool stuff that we were going to do. And I'm gonna say this now. I hope she's okay because it probably hit really hard. She had lost a relative to cancer a few years back, and once again these feelings of loss and death are popping up again, and it's not a nice thing. I tend to try and look on the bright side of things. I tend to ignore the negativity and the hurt and the hate and all that out in the world. And Technoblade's death is one of those things where it's one of those things that I tend to ignore because I kind of want to shelter my mind from the hate and the disgustingness of the world that's out there. But I know I can't shelter myself forever, and I know that that's not something you can do. But I also know is that like with things like this, it's not easy. It's not gonna be easy. No. Nothing that you do is easy. I've known for a long time that death is hard. Mourning is hard. There's there's been times where I've thought that, hey, my grandmother might die. There's been times where I thought, hey, my brother might die. And I'm not going to bring up when or why or how, but there's been times where I've had that fear or that scaredness of everything flowing out of proportion and being gone and things not happening. And so, yeah, I understand what it's like for people to go through that mourning period and the need that people need time and energy. And honestly, I'm surprised any of these content creators are creating content. The ones that were friends of Technoblad, at least. I feel like they should have just taken a month, 3 months off, or however long they need to reset themselves. Their communities would have understood, and it should have been that way. And I'm not, and I'm gonna say this now. Don't go over there and ask them to watch Technoblade's goodbye video. Don't ask them to do that. Don't ask them to be like, oh, have you seen this? Don't ask them a lot of things, okay? Just let them be themselves, okay? Okay? Let them be themselves. And okay, in terms of where my stances are for Dream SMP content from here, I'm still going to continue it. It's not going to stop. If anything, this is giving me more motivation to continue the story. I want to continue to tell Technoblade's story. I never had Technoblade really fleshed out all too much, except in one episode when he does appear, but maybe I'll bring him back round in a video for something. Another thing I'm gonna bring up is what's coming up in the future. I've been fandom hopping again. Dream SMP had always been kind of one of those fandoms where I was in it and then I was out of it and then I'm in it again, and it's like FNAF, it's kind of floated to the back of my mind. I never had a fandom where I was like in it for longer than a few months or a year or 2 years. And so this is one of those things. This is one of those. And I would just like to say that, you know, it's one of those things where, like, you need to go ahead and just, I don't know. But I will come back to it, and I am going to continue the stories, and I am going to continue with Technoblade's story and tell his portion of this tale. Because he may be dead, but he's not gone. He's a blood god now. He's the actual god. So, like, now you don't forget about him. Don't. And I'm sorry for the background noise, roommates and all that stuff. Alright.